Woo! Orem Swarm coming at you. Uh, Welcome to the video. Let's get right down to it. I wasn't really going to make this video, but I've been on social media, and you guys know the Lions lost. This isn't the aftermath, but I need to talk about something, and we need to talk about Dan Campbell. Now, right off the record, I'm going to say I was a big supporter of Dan Campbell, okay? Huge supporter. I didn't think we hit a home run hire or anything like that when we hired him. But he was the type of guy that was the complete opposite of what Matt Patricia was last year, or from 2 years, 3 years prior. Matt Patricia was that. He was one of those right down the business head coaches, which isn't a bad thing of being right down to business, but didn't really have a lot of player relationships. Didn't seem to be a guy that was really well respected in the NFL, even though he won Super Bowls with Bill Belichick as being a head coach, and he was the defensive coordinator over there in New England. Even his last couple of years in New England, the defenses were kind of shaky, but they won Super Bowls, and he's got multiple rings as a New England Patriot. He comes over. We all know the story, man, with the Caldwell thing, and Caldwell probably getting wrongly fired, which he probably did. I do agree with that. And Quinn wanted his boy, Matt Patricia, in from jump, waited a year to do it, and just couldn't wait to do it. 9-7, not good enough. And we saw what happened with Matt Patricia. But then Matt Patricia was here for 2.5 years. He was a train wreck himself, destroyed this team. I think he did. I think he set this team back years with some of his defenses and some of his drafts with Quinn. The type of players he wanted, but this is a Dan Campbell. This is a Dan Campbell video, and I'm kind of going to be all over the place here. The decision making that Dan Campbell is making is starting to trend in a way where I personally think he has almost officially lost his whole fan base. I'm about to jump off board with Dan Campbell, and I really like the guy. I really like him. But his decision making is killing this team, and I know there's going to be people in there there's going to be people in here that coming at me going, "You told me he was great. I never told you Dan Campbell was great. I told you that Dan Campbell is a leader of men. He's a motivator. He's the type of coach that players and coaches want to be around, and that's a fact. You hear it from players. You hear it from coaches. You hear from people saying that Dan Campbell's going to literally poach coaches away from other teams. And he has. And he has. He has poached players, not really necessarily players, but coaches from other teams. Now, he's gotten himself into a situation which he's digging himself, and he's going to have a real tough time of getting out of it now. And I personally think winning is the only way out of it, and I don't see this team winning right now. His decisions to go on 4th down have been absolutely friggin' asinine, to say the least, this year. I can't cover for it anymore. I can't try to say, well, hey man, let's just give him game to game. I'm gonna see where he's at. He's admitting to making mistakes. He's a man's man. I'm officially done. I'm not going to bash the guy, but he is going to, or he already really has, he has lost most of this fan base. He has lost most of it. And I got to tune in tomorrow to the radio stations in the local 97.1 The Ticket's really only the one to listen to. There's a couple other ones, but 97.1 The Ticket is going to have a field day with this. They're going to drag him through the mud, and everything's justified. He deserves to be destroyed. The way he goes for it, I don't know what he's going to do to get out of this. I don't know what he's going to possibly do. He's already said that they've hit rock bottom. He's already said this is the worst it can get. It's not. The worst it can get is you're going to get fired soon. And I didn't think he was going to get, I thought he was going to be here minimum 4 years. It's not trending that way now. It's not trending that way now. And there's not going to be a choice if he keeps doing what he's doing. And I'm not going to talk about the offense. I'm not going to talk about the defense. I'm going to save that for tomorrow when I do my preview, my aftermath. Even though the going for it on fourth down is part of the offense. But I'm not even going to get into that on the players or anything like that. But I'm just going to get into decisions. If you got like 4th and 9, what the hell are you doing going for it on 4th and 9? Like, I could see 4th and 1. You know, they were bad. They were what, 0 for 5 today? 0 for 5. Just, they were outcoached. Just everything bad that could happen did happen. And he lost. Now I'll keep repeating it. He lost, I think, 80 to maybe even more % of this fan base. And I like the guy. I like him. I really do, man. I love the way he coaches. I love his aggression. I love the way that he's a player's coach. I love that. Whenever I played the game, I always loved the coach that you can go to and talk to on personal levels. And that's a guy that you can. But he's going to get himself fired. And my buddy said it to me. My buddy Chris Green said it to me, and I've been reading it too. The honeymoon is officially over. I was given this guy 2-3 years to turn this around. It don't look like it's going to get any better. You know, they're going into a bye week at 1-4. This is disastrous written off. This is a disaster. Now, am I saying he's going to get fired tomorrow or he's going to get fired next week? You know, well, they got a bye, so they can't lose unless we can't lose in a bye. But anyways, man, there's no. This is what I'm really trying to get at too. There's no rainbow. There's nothing. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. There's nothing. There's nothing that says this team is going to functionally get better. And there's nothing that says that he is getting better. His actions can't be defended anymore. They can't. And I'm not calling for his head. He's doing this to himself. Like, I don't even need to call for his head. He is doing this all himself. He is going to get himself fired. This is why I think someone's getting fired this week. Someone's getting fired or demoted. Somebody is. And I think it's going to be Aaron Glenn. I personally do. I'm not going to get into it totally what happened today, but they let mediocre, not even bad offense look like all-stars. Like all-stars. They made a good running offense look phenomenal running the football. And they made a 6th-round rookie look like a superstar. He didn't throw for a ton of yards, but he just looked poised, comfortable. He didn't look like he was under any duress at all, which he wasn't. And then his decisions on top. The going for it's he's doubling and tripling and quadrupling down on his mistakes, Dan Campbell. And he's got this fan base completely turned against him. And I don't know how he gets out of it. Winning is the only solution. And this team, I thought this team was going to win 6 games. 6 as the ceiling. As the floor. And 9 as the ceiling. I don't see where they're going to get a win now. They're not beating the Jaguars. They're not going to beat the Jets. They're not beating the Giants. There's other teams on there too that they're not going to beat. Like, who are they going to beat? This team might win 1 game. That's not progression. You know, it's all coming full circle, and it's not a good look. Let's say that. It's all bad. Not a good scene whatsoever. It's a bad scene. It's a really bad scene. And his decision making is going to get him fired. And it just sucks because then we're going to have to start all over again. Like, I don't think they're going to fire him. I really don't, but it just makes you think a little bit inside. How much longer is Sheila going to be able to put up with this? Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell seem to have this woman to have this convinced it's them. I don't know. I'll admit, I kind of fell for it a little bit. I didn't think they were going to make a playoffs or anything like that, but I thought there was going to be progression in his style of coaching, and I thought they were going to start winning football games. This is not about winning football games. It is and it isn't, but this is strictly about Dan Campbell and his progression of being a head coach, and he hasn't progressed. He's regressed as a head coach, and I always feel like I've been trying to like back him up and trying to say, well, man, we need to really get into the season first. Let's see. He's going to get better. Just give him time. He apologized. I can't anymore. I really can't. It's coming down to a point where you just have to sit there and just say, well, it's like I almost feel like I'm a dad. I almost feel like I am a dad, but I almost feel like when you sit your child down and you're like, just say that your child keeps getting in trouble over and over and over again. Finally, you have to sit your kid down and go, listen, I can't defend you anymore. Next time, you're probably going to jail. And I can't defend you anymore. I can't ask the judge to give you forgiveness. I can't do that. It's the same with this fan base. Can't ask the fans to forgive him anymore. Can't ask. I don't have the right. I don't think any of us does. He is burying himself. He is burying himself. And it sucks because I like him. I like the way people respond to him. But if the fans are going to go turn on him, which they are, how much more is this, or his teammates, or his players going to take? I think they love him. They do. But they have to be questioning what the F is going on with the way he coaches this team. The way his decision making is horrible. It's gotten from bad to worse, and it's getting worse and worse by the game. And it sucks. And I hate making this video because I've been a supporter. I want him to succeed, obviously, right? I don't like making videos like this, man. And it's not that and the thing about making videos like this, I don't care if I'm wrong or right about a player or even a coach. But I think I could be wrong on this guy. And that's okay. Like, I don't make videos to be right and wrong. I make videos on opinions, facts, all the above, everything in between. I don't make videos for clicks and views. I really don't. And if people want to come at me and say, I told you somewhere, good for you. That's fine. Pat yourself on the back. Reward yourself with a nice hot chocolate. I don't know what to tell you, man. But this fan base is completely turned on him. They have, and it's justified. And the players are going to be next. And then someone's getting fired very soon. So expect it. Expect somebody to get fired. Because Dan Campbell can't be doing this anymore. He can't. Someone's falling on the sword at least once. And then that'll be his mulligan. That'll be his mulligan, Dan Campbell. And then after that. But someone's getting fired. Or he's getting himself fired. Something's coming bad. But he needs to smarten up, and I just don't. It's like we have this conversation every week. So I don't see how he's going to smarten up. I don't know when he's going to. I don't think he's a dumb man. I just think the in-game situations, he gets confused. Somebody has to be getting into his ear and talking to him and telling him that this is a bad idea. Why did you sign Michael Badgley? Why? Why did you sign Jack Fox? What's the point? You have a great punter. You have a pretty good kicker that's been good in the past. I'm not saying this guy's an all-world kicker because he's not even close. And it would have been a couple long field goals, but try to get some points on the board. Like try to get something going. Points. You know what I mean? But I don't know why you even carry a punter and a kicker. I really don't even understand why you do. Teams know what you're doing now. They know what you're doing. You got out-coached. You got out-coached by Bill Belichick. That's just, we can go down that road too. He's got that voodoo going with Goff. It's just there's something going on there. But your decision making was atrocious. Why? Because you got a Hall of Fame coach right across from you, and Bill Belichick, and you crumbled under pressure. I hope that's not the case. I'm just trying to figure it out in my head. But he's lost his fan base, and the players will be next, and then the management will be next. Someone's falling on the sword. It's all coming. Everything's coming, and it's not a good look. And I just don't see wins coming in the future. So winning cures everything, and I don't see where this team's going to win. You got to buy, then you face an absolute destroying defense of a team in Dallas that destroys teams. You still have a good offense, though. I'm not even bagging on the offense. You do. You just had a terrible day. But something's going to happen. But anyways, that's the video, guys. I probably talked about it for too long. I'm really worried about what's going to happen with Campbell. He's completely out of touch. It's not a good look. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate watching the video. Hit the subscribe button at the bottom right. Hit the notification bell, get on my videos, and like, comment, share it out. Dan Campbell. Oh, man, come on, bro. Go Lions. One pride, baby. Boom.